So I'm preparing some repertoire possibly for an outdoor concert. This is not typically something you would hear outside. I'm not sure yet, but I think this might be one of my selections. So the selection here is a type of perpetual motion, which is a stream of notes played in rapid succession. For me, when getting a perpetual motion ready for performance, it's extremely important to practice it very slowly. One of the dangers of practicing slowly is that you think of the notes by a note-by-note case, one after the other, instead of thinking more broadly. And this can be very dangerous when you play fast. The metronome is a musician's best friend for these types of passages. It really keeps your playing steady and rhythmic, but similar to all tools for even working out, it gives you a good reference point so that you can gauge where you're at. Just like lifting weights, you know where your max is because there are calibrated tools for doing so. The same with playing an instrument. This is the tool to use so that you know where your max is in a technical aspect. The metronome has been in existence for a long time. All the way back in 1812, a man named Winkel invented the metronome, which was then copied by Johann Meisel, who made a small portable metronome for musicians. All right, today we're at Riverside Park and we're gonna have a little recital for the kids. It's all to ourselves, take a little tour here. This is behind the Soldiers Monument. So everything's almost perfect, except for the sun. We didn't think about the sun, and it's going to be about almost 90 degrees, but the sun is a little too much. And the benches are right in the sun, so we don't know what we're going to do about that. Thinking about setting up over here on these stairs. Bro, what are you playing today?
The Bach double with Miss Marvette.
Okay. I like your shirt. Super bright.
Ready.
Is this your warm-up? I got you on camera. What are you playing today? What? You have to say it really loud because it's so loud out here.
Country dance.
Country dance. All right. You nervous? Shouldn't be. You're ready for this.
Today I'm going to play Canon and Spring. Canon from Pachelbel and Spring from a ball.
Oh, great. Okay, best of luck. So Lennon, what are you playing today?
I'm playing Go to Joy, Song of the Wind, and Go Tell Aunt Rose.
Oh wow, you can playing 3 pieces? Great, I'm excited. So beginning where I left off last week, where I left a letter underneath the neighbor's door telling him to return the package, upon going into the elevator one day, there was a letter there. And it turns out it's from the same neighbor, exclaiming his innocence and saying, "Let the coward show himself." Every day in the elevator, there would be new signatures of support from other neighbors rallying behind him and telling him, "We have your back. Don't let this coward get you down." I didn't mind it at all because now the package thief knew we were on to him, and I started getting my packages again. These tenants were all rent stabilized, and they all rallied behind each other no matter what. It was a club they created, and they acted as if they owned the building. One time, they had the audacity to have a meeting whether or not to keep the super of the building. Despite it obviously not being their decision, management could care less what you think about their super, especially when you're rent stabilized. This management company was a major corporation, and one time I actually called them when I was getting the noise complaints from the neighbor below me, and they could care less. As long as you're within the times that you're allowed to make a certain amount of noise, who cares? One of the last weeks in the building, we had a day filled with rehearsals for all our big kids' last recital at the end of the year. The place was packed, and at one point, I saw the super come up with wide eyes. He asked, "Are you having a party?" All concerned. I just said, "Sure," and he left me alone. Another issue we had in this building was moving the stove back one day. I looked behind it, and there was all this poop behind the stove. We had an exterminator come out, and he felt for sure we had something. Thankfully, we left before we found out. Moral of the story, you really never know what you're getting in New York City. The neighbors can be one of the most important determining factors whether you have a good stay or not. The virus hit, and our lease was expiring soon, so we received a renewal about 3 months ahead. I kid you not, the management company wanted $300 more than our already high rent. This is why rent stabilization is such a valuable commodity. I sent them a letter telling them it should be $300 less, not more. And please consider this my 60-day notice, as I will not be renewing. for that price. They quickly sent a renewal trying to keep the rent the same, but at this point I thought it best to leave because the whole city is shutting down. Students were afraid to come. Nobody knew what was going on. Ambulances started going by more and more often. They had reports in the news about tents in Central Park and having to freeze bodies and put them in U-Hauls because there were too many. We decided, because we were fully online, that it was best to leave. And we did. This was only 2 days before the whole city locked down.